growing your stream and your community. That's what we're talking about here today. And it's by far one of the most challenging things. Now, we know setting up, getting your stream set up, getting all the technical things going for your stream and your community can be a daunting challenge as well. But once you've gotten that all going, how do you continue to consistently see growth within your stream, within your community, so you can ultimately make this something that is worthwhile along your journey, whether you want this to just be a hobby and you want to build a family, a community that just connects with the things that you enjoy, or whether you want to make this something that's more full-time to replace your job, to support your family. It's so important to understand what is required of you day in and day out to be able to ultimately grow as a streamer, as a creator, to be able to see success in this journey. So these are some of the things that I do to be able to continually to grow my stream, to grow my community, to start seeing some results. Again, I say this over and over again, your growth as a streamer and as a creator is going to happen when you're offline, not when you're streaming. Now, there are things you can do while you are streaming to be able to go ahead and see more growth and get people to come back to your stream. I mean, we'll get that in just a few moments, but first I want to talk to you about the things you need to do once you're not streaming. Again, you hear this over and over and over again, people saying, hey, you need to create content on social media. Well, they're right. You need to create content on other platforms to be able to be found. Now, it's not just creating content for these platforms. The reason why you're creating content on these platforms is because these platforms are open 24/7. You can't be live with your stream 24/7. You could, right? But that's not realistic. You can't sustain that for a long period of time. So the reason why you create content on these other platforms is because those videos, those clips, those highlights, those moments that you share about yourself, about your life, about the things that you're doing within your content are online 24/7. On TikTok, videos are going 24/7. On YouTube, videos are going 24/7. On Instagram, videos are going 24/7. So I'm constantly on these other platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, being found while I'm offline. My YouTube videos are constantly helping and educating people on streaming and doing the things I need to do when I'm offline. People are finding me, finding out about me. Who's Curry? What is he doing? And then they get an opportunity to tune into my stream. And then when they come to the stream, they get to feel the excitement. They get to see the education. They get to be around somebody who's at a different level than them, but here to help them reach that next level. So it's so important that you create content on these other social platforms. Now, you may say, I don't really know what kind of content to be able to make. Now, I say this over and over again. You have to become an educated consumer. And what that actually means is that you're not just on social media consuming content, okay? You need to consume social media to be able to learn what's working and what's being done on that platform. So that way you can start making that kind of content that people are already enjoying, right? But it's not just about your game. Right? You may say, well, Curry, I'm not really an educational channel. I really just want to grow on the game that I'm playing and just grow in what I'm doing in my stream. Okay, cool. That's totally fine. But educational channel is not just about how to start streaming. Find a way to be able to educate people around the thing that you are doing. Do you play dominoes? Do you go ahead and play a certain game? Are you really good at a certain game? Do you enjoy certain things outside of gaming that you can talk about, things that you're passionate about? The whole idea with streaming is that people can connect with you. They want to get connected and know who your person behind the camera is. So creating content is by far your lifeline. You may say, oh, I don't have the gear to be able to, I don't have the gear to create content. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do this. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that there's this free website that gives you all the information. It's called Google. So if you take the time to be able to go on there and start learning the skills that are required of you to be able to know, like, how do I make content? How do I go ahead and edit this video? And I 100% say that you should focus on short form content. If you really can't right now make long form videos, you need to focus on short form content. And what platform you're going to focus on? TikTok, because TikTok is very forgiving. It's so important that TikTok is so forgiving because you can make so many videos on TikTok over and over again to test and see what's working and see what's not working when they don't penalize you. They don't penalize you the way that YouTube or Instagram would if you have bad content. And so you have to understand that first we're talking about growth offline. I'm going to get here into just a moment about the things you need to do when you're online to be able to contribute to your growth and the building of your community. But first you got to think about, okay, I'm one person. I'm the one streaming. Okay, how can I go ahead and build up a team that is free, that's gonna go out there and work for me? So again, right, if you gotta treat your stream like a regular business, right? When you go to the supermarket, right, it's not just one person there. You got people at the cashier, you got some self-checkout, you got people that are stocking, right? So you treat every employee in that supermarket as your content. So every time that I create a piece of video that I'm going to put on TikTok, every time that I create a video that I'm going to put on Instagram, that I put on YouTube, I treat that as an employee of mine that's going out there to be able to market and be my face while I'm focusing on other things, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, like if you're just streaming and you're like, yeah, I got 5 viewers, cool, and every time you stream you got 5 viewers, all right, great, but how are people going to find you and connect with you outside of that, right? So again, it's a content creation. That's hands down number one. Like, you want to grow, create content. There's no way that I'm going to be able to grow my stream and grow my community if I'm not out there creating content, right? And the way that I do that is that I think smart about creating my content. I also know I can't create content every single day, right? So you also got to understand, how can I grow my stream consistently with about 5-10 hours a week? That's all you need. 5 to 10 hours a week that you can dedicate, because you may have a full-time job. You may have an opportunity where, like, you really can't dedicate 40 hours a week to be able to create this content, right? So how can I go ahead and utilize 5 to 10 hours a week to be able to do this, right? I'm going to tell you right now. Again, remember, when you're just starting out, if you don't have a lot of viewers, right, and like you have some people coming in, start one time a week. Dedicate 1 to 2 to 3, maybe 3 hours max, okay, for you to be able to stream. And what you're doing when you're streaming is you're creating content. Again, it's so important. You need to create content in real time. Right now, you guys are watching me, the people who are watching me live, making a YouTube video in real time. That's what we're doing right here, creating content to be able to post it out there, to be able to help people so that way they can find the content, come and find me, get connected to my community, get more connected with more of my videos, and then figure out my stream, come to my stream, and be able to catch me live. So you focus on 1 to 3 hours a week to be able to stream. Then the rest of the time, if you have 10 hours, 7 hours of that needs to be focused on creating content. What does that look like? Let's say you spend 2-3 hours because you're not as versed in the editing part of it. So you take 3 hours of the 7 that you have left, and you focus on creating clips, moments that are about you. And it doesn't have to be just your game. This is talking about moments that you share a story when you're answering a question. And sometimes you got to have a conversation with yourself. I always talk about this when you're prepping your stream, to come with an idea and a topic of what are you going to talk about, to have questions that you're going to ask your community. And even if that question is to an empty audience, you're still going to be able to then later utilize that content. So you're posting things about you, things about your stream, things about the game. There's so much options that's there. And the biggest thing is that you got to do recon. Once you spend time, okay, and this is where the other hours, remember, we've just used 3 to stream. We've just used 3 to edit content. Okay, so what do we have left, right? We've used 6 hours. We have 4 hours left. So in those 4 hours, this is where you have to take at least 1 to 2 hours a week to be able to do recon. Now, what does recon look like, right? Recon looks like this. If you're trying to grow on Instagram, if you're trying to grow on TikTok, if you're trying to grow on YouTube, what you want to do is you want to spend time consuming that platform as an educator, looking at, like, okay, I'm streaming Apex, I'm doing dominoes, I'm doing motocross, I'm doing all these other things. Okay, cool. Let me go look at the people who are actually creating content in this space and seeing what kind of content they're looking at. But not just looking at their content, you're also diving into the comments. Become a part of the community. Look at the comments. Take a look at what they're saying. What are the comments people are saying? What are they engaging with? What are they looking at? Cool. Well, let me dive into that conversation because it's something I'm passionate about. Let me dive into the conversation. So during that 1 to 2 hours you're spending a week, not only are you doing recon to get content ideas, not only are you doing recon to understand more about the community, not only are you doing recon to be able to engage in the community, so you're taking care of those 3 things to be able to understand. The more knowledge you have about the content that's working, the more knowledge you have about the audience you're trying to serve, the more knowledge you have and people know who you are. Like, this is so important. Now, when you're engaging in your commenting, right? Remember, it's so important that you set up your profiles the right way. Okay. And this could be a video within itself of just like, how do you set up your bio and your profiles so that way people actually are interested in what it is you want to offer? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to constantly be like, oh, hey, come check me out. Hey, come check me out. No, but by you adding value and you being immersed in the community and being a part of the community and contributing to that creator's content, contributing to a conversation, people are going to say, kind of interested in this person. Click your profile, they see your bio, and the bio doesn't deliver them. Some of you don't even have anything in your bio at all. So then so somebody comes checks you out, it's like, oh, okay, cool, they're just a regular person. But if you're doing, let's say, for example, Apex content, or you're doing something more personal that you enjoy, like sports or fitness or health, and they go to your profile and you say, health enthusiast, I love to cook healthy recipes every single week. They're like, oh, cool, I like healthy recipes. Boom, follow, right? Now, they've begun that engagement with you, right? So, okay. So now we spent 3 hours streaming, 3 hours editing content, okay, to post on social media. We spent 2 hours doing recon, right, and engaging with the community, right? So what do we have left? That's 6, 7, 8. We have 2 hours to go, right? So we have 2 hours. Think about how we're creating 10 hours into this machine that you're building, right? And when you're editing, you're not just editing one clip. Right? In a 2 hour stream, I get anywhere, if I'm doing the content right, I get one full YouTube video and anywhere from 12 to 15 short form clips if I do it right. Okay. So think about that. That's a month worth of content from one stream. So if every week you're doing the same thing, like, hey, I'm going to stream every single week to be able to engage with my community and to be able to make content in real time and to be able to have an opportunity for my audience to find me. Then the rest of it, I'm going to spend making content, right? So now what do you do with those last 2 hours that you have? What do you do with them, right? So this is where you need to focus on improving your stream, right? This is where you spend 2 hours thinking about like, okay, what are some of the topics that I'm going to talk about? What are some of the segments that I'm going to have inside of my stream? What are the things that I'm going to do differently? Am I going to do trivia? Am I going to have a giveaway? Like, you need to treat this as a business as much as some of you just want it to be a hobby. If you want it to be a hobby, then don't worry so much about the numbers, right? The community is going to be built around it because you have a passion. And if you're just engaging the community and just adding value to people are going to grow, right? But if you're trying to make money from this, right, you need to be very, very deliberate and very intentional about the things that you're doing, right? No time wasted. So you plan that out, right, to be able to see growth. And then what happens is that no growth is going to happen you doing this for 1 week, okay? You may see some growth. Okay, this is where so many streamers fall short, and this is why they quit, they give up, they don't see no growth, or they hit a wall. Is that you don't understand the concept of momentum. Okay, like, you got to treat this as a snowball, right? A snowball starts so small, right, and then as it starts going down, it starts picking up volume, starts getting bigger, starts moving faster, right? But at first, you have to be the first one to kind of ball that snowball up and start the process. And this is what that is, right? Doing this week in, week out, offline, and getting consistent into a rhythm is what's going to allow you to be able to grow, because every week that you do this, you're putting out new soldiers, which I call videos, out there working for you 24/7 to introduce you to new people, and then it just goes from there, right? So okay, so we were looking at offline, right, to be able to grow a community, but what can I do to be able to expedite that, right? How do I do that? If the content grows my stream, how do I grow my community from that, right? So your community growth comes from those hand-to-hand combats. It comes from you being involved in other communities as well. And I'm not a big fan of follow groups or groups that are just talking about, hey, drop my link, I'm going to support you, because that's not realistic, okay? Like, that's not what you want. You want people who are genuinely invested in you, not with them having an expectation of wanting something back in return, like, hey, follow me and I'm going to follow you, and then cool, I'm going to help you boost your numbers, but then who cares about, I don't really care what it is you're doing, right? That's not where you're going to see consistent growth. Be happy with the amount of people that are invested in you, that actually care, as opposed to trying to get everyone to come. So to grow your community, you have to be vocal. I got a comment the other day that said, hey, you know what? Like, I'm very nervous to ask people to subscribe, to join my community, because I'm so small. Why would I feel like I should ask that? Well, you got to ask yourself this question. Are you not confident in what it is that you serve? Do you not feel like your community is worth somebody being a part of? If you don't feel confident in what you're offering, then okay, cool, don't offer it. But I will never not tell somebody what it is that I'm doing, especially when I know that it can serve them. Now, it's not my job to convince that person to come and join the community, but I at least gave you the opportunity to say, hey, you're looking to grow your stream? Come enjoy this community. Hey, you're looking to grow your stream? Hey, come and join this course. You figure out this download, do this. So you have to also be vocal. And I think that most of the time we don't utilize our DMs, which you should, right? So if you're on Instagram and you're looking at an account when you're doing your recon and you're commenting and you're engaging with that content, why are you not sending a DM to that person and saying, hey man, really loved your content. We'll love to figure out more about what you're doing. Maybe see the opportunity for us to connect. Yeah, cool. Maybe most people are going to not even ignore and check out your message. But if you're doing this consistently, somebody's going to respond to you and you start building that relationship, right? You start building a relationship with the people that are there. So it's more than just like streaming. I wish I can really instill that into you to say, like, so many people now you see that are big streamers that just all they do is they stream, right? But on the other end of it, how much content are they putting out? Some of these streamers have 7, 10 YouTube channels. They're on every social media platform, constantly feeding it content, constantly feeding it content, constantly feeding it content. So if you feel like when somebody gets to the top, they still don't stop creating content, that should be a real big eye-opener for you, that content is the lifeline. Without content, you can't survive. You can't thrive. You can't keep being relevant and getting new people to find you, right? So if you're just going to go live once a week, cool, but you're not a TV show. You don't have a big name behind you to say, like, I'm never going to miss that kind of stream, right? Like, I'm not that important. People have a life. People are not going to be like, oh yeah, I can't miss Curry's stream at 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday. Like, I'm not that important, but at the end of the day, what I can do is make content that other people can consume when it's convenient for them. When they pop up on Instagram, when they pop up on TikTok, when they pop up on YouTube, my video can be surfaced to them. And then I'm able to kind of connect with them and help them with any problems that they're having. So you really got to approach this to be able to grow your stream and grow your community. You got to be intentional. Again, intentional. Dedicate time every single week that you're going to go ahead and set aside to be able to grow this. How many hours a week? If you have 10 hours, think about this. If you can grow your stream in 10 hours and you can go ahead and make it something substantial that separates you and generates an income for you that can start supplementing the income that you currently have, imagine what would happen if you were able to bump that up to 15 hours and 20 hours, right? But at the end of the day, it's like I only commit 10 to 15 hours a week to my stream sometimes, right? And with that, it's just like 4 of those hours go to streaming, because for me, the streaming aspect of it, because I'm coming in with creating content, of course, I'm going to engage with my community while I'm live, but I'm coming in here with the mindset to create content. Like, wow, I'm going to spend 4 hours a week creating content that's going to feed me for the next 2 months. Of course, I'm going to do that. Why? Because I know content is the lifeline to what I'm trying to do. So you got to figure out how you can create content at scale and how you can continue to create. And the only way for you to do that is to be a student. Figure out what people are doing in your industry. Figure out what game people are playing, what content they're making. And then once you have people inside your stream, how do you keep them, right? So how do you keep people once they're in your stream? Give them what they want. Make yourself different from everybody else. What is going to be the segments of your stream? Are you going to start out doing a Q&A? Are you going to do games and giveaways? Are you going to do trivia? Are you going to play different kind of games? How can you involve the community in the live experience that you're in, so that way you can start to see like people coming back? One of the things I do in my stream is that I'm always available to answer questions. So it's an opportunity. Maybe people don't come back every single time, but I try to entertain, educate, and inspire people when they come to my stream, right? So I want you that when you leave my stream, you feel either you're excited, you're happy, you're motivated, you got your question answered, you got more clarity on what you want to do, you just want to keep pushing forward. So you got to figure out what kind of stream you're going to want to create, what it is that you want to create. It just falls in three categories, all right? Educate, entertain, inspire. You only got to pick one. If you could do all three, great, but try to focus on those. And then tell people, hey, I'm live every Tuesday and Thursday. Come check me out at 3:30. Hey, I'm live. Start DMing people, all your followers, before you go live. Like, it's not bad to promote your stream and reach out to people when you're coming from a good place and you're saying like, hey, like today, I'm going to be doing this special thing on my stream. I would love to be able to have you there. Invite people. When you have a birthday party, when you have a party, when you're doing things in real life, like you invite people to those things. You don't feel some kind of way inviting a friend of yours to come to a party. So we got to treat that the same way online. Like our online to in person shouldn't be separate. You should be the same person regardless whether you're you're in person or online. So you got to feel comfortable saying like, why am I afraid? Why am I not actually coming out there and putting out content? Why am I not editing? Why am I not learning a new skill? Why am I not reaching out to people and trying to build a community? Why am I not trying to collaborate with other people? You know why? Is because you're not afraid of failure. You're just afraid of failing in front of other people. And it's normal. It's normal. Like you'll probably sing inside the shower all good and dandy, but you won't all go outside to the street and start singing, right? Because it's the fear of judgment of other people. And that's what slows you down. That's what kills your momentum. I no longer care about what other people think about my content. I know that I'm going to make content that's trying to help my younger self. So I'm going to make that kind of content. I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to be my realest person I am. I can't control the comments. I can't control what people say. So you got to feel the same way. Like if you allow other people's judgment to slow you down from being able to create and become the special person you need to become, like you're missing out on the big picture. You were made uniquely for a purpose. And you got to tell yourself that when you feel that fear, when you feel like you're discouraged, you got to realize that you got to lean into that. One of the things that I do is that I have these things. Whenever I say the words, I'm scared, I'm discouraged, oh, I don't know if I could do this, I know 100% it's what I got to do. Right? Whenever I feel my heart going boom, 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 I know that's what I got to do. Right? And that's how you build the confidence to be able to know and say like, wow, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create content. I'm going to learn the skills that I need to do to know how to edit, to know how to create content. I'm going to learn how Instagram works. I'm going to learn how TikTok works. I'm going to learn how YouTube works. Like nobody taught me these things. This is me going out there and researching. Yes, there's people that taught me, but I had to have the question in my mind. I had to ask the question. I had to be willing to put in the time to be able to learn, like, what kind of camera should I use? What kind of microphone should I use? Like, how does Instagram work? Like, what does YouTube want? How do I get views here? Like, how do I connect with people? Like, how do I talk better? How do I have better camera presence? How do I go ahead and brand my stream? Like, if you're not asking yourself these questions and you're not out there eagerly wanting to learn, you're not going to grow. It doesn't matter what you do, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of answer I give you or what answer somebody else gives you. If you don't put in the action, you're just not going to grow. So I just want you guys to understand that it's like, if you want to grow your stream, you got to put in the work. And the work doesn't come when you're live. It comes when you're offline. And if you're smart, the work that you do while you're online serves you while you're offline. So